another one.
Our very first question of the night. QA manager thinks that automation with Selenium are useless. My manager thinks that developing QA automation for web and mobile are useless because it can't detect more bugs compared to manual QA team. I came here with existing framework for Selenium, so I do maintaining and developing the scripts while working on mobile as well. But the thing is, they found QA automation useless because it won't detect more bugs compared to manual QA. Resource wise, there is um, much more people in manual QA rather than automation team. So the QA manager is saying we should halt the developing of new scripts for QA since it won't detect bugs. What I've been developing is the end-to-end process of functionality, but we only have like less than 100 regression scripts. How it will find a bug with limited scope. I felt like I'm on a verge of being laid off because of this. I've been saying that QA automation did not work like that. My function is to speed up the repeating process of manual QA so they can focus more on new things to test. I felt like useless and unmotivated to this organization. I'm literally quiet quitting due to this. What is quiet quitting, anyways? Give me a second. Hold on. I need a definition. What is quiet quitting? Quiet quitting is when employees continue to put in the minimum amount of effort to keep their jobs, but don't go the extra mile for their employer. This might mean not speaking up in meetings, not volunteering for tasks, and refusing to work overtime. It might also result in greater absenteeism. Interesting. Okay, so that's what quiet quitting is. I stand informed. Okay, where were we? Okay. They won't listen to any of my feedback whatsoever. Felt like I don't belong to this team. I've been here for like 2 years. Oh my goodness, you need some punctuation. But pay is good and it is a remote job. One of my team one of my team members were laid off as well. Feels like I'm the next one. Due to this reason, I want to move to software dev as well. This job is thankless. No one appreciates this job. All right, so we made it through that struggle reading and start the clock. All right, I've seen this a few times. So let's address the first part of this question, rant, whatever we want to call it, right? The QA manager who thinks that automation is useless because it won't catch as many defects as compared to the manual team. It reminds me of when Uber was getting like out there, and the taxi industry lobbied against Uber because you know it really just was a threat to the taxi because like for you to like let's say in New York for instance, right? To have a taxi medallion, it costs a lot of money. While driving Uber, you just have to sign up with Uber and have a car and you go from there. But there was all these restrictions and stuff like that. But if I know anything from watching Law and Order, I know that the taxi drivers in New York are terrible. So, I mean, what's the difference in jumping in an Uber if you guys are talking bad about them, right? And it's the same way when the car got developed and people were like, but what about the horses? So anytime innovation is going to come about, it's the same thing right now. Oh, with this dev and AI, what about the software engineers? What about this? What when the kiosks come out at McDonald's, like what about the people who mess up your order and they're rude and have an attitude with you? What about them? So what I'm saying is that if your QA manager is thinking back in like the 1990s when there's not like automation, thinking that QA automation is supposed to find bugs, no, that is not the purpose of QA automation. It is to make sure that the software is working continuously. And this is the problem that old school QA people have. They think that their job is to find bugs. No, quality assurance is to assure quality. make sure that the quality of the product that you're producing is good, right? Simple as that. And through that process, you might end up finding bugs and defects and things like that, but that isn't the primary goal. And if you are doing it the right way, the amount of defects you find should be minimal. So what this QA manager is doing is having a slew, an army of QA testers to test the same things over and over and over again on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. And here's the problem. It's impossible. It is absolutely, if you remember when we were watching the Robert C. Martin video, he was talking about when the company needs to cut the budget and they say, all right, you have to get rid of half of your team. And okay, so now you have all these manual test cases to run and you ask, which test cases should we run? This half or that half? Well, the answer simply is the half of the application you want to work. That's it. The half you want it to work. That's the half that you're going to run. So what you did, my friend, with bad punctuation and grammar, you correctly explained the purpose of using Selenium and automated tests. Now, your manager might not understand how this helps the organization. So therefore, you should leave. See, I hope that you continue to and this is for everyone. Always have your resume up to date. Always list the things, the value that you're bringing, because when you're working with someone who doesn't understand the way that software engineering, software development works, then you end up finding yourself in the position of wanting to quit and feeling underappreciated. I will I always have the mindset of go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated. Simple as that. So, with that being said, you feel like if you know the type of value that you bring, the type of work that you do, then why are you feel bound to this particular place? Oh, maybe you're comfortable because you get to work remote and the pay is good and stuff like that, but it's killing you inside. It is absolutely killing you inside. So I think that you should make an attempt to, you could go to software dev in that same organization if you want, or to another place. But if you truly enjoy QA and are passionate about QA, then just go find a company who actually understands the purpose of automated testing and the value that it brings to the organization and the safety that QA automation brings to an organization. Because I'll tell you this, at my company, I am responsible for, and in the team that I work for, the automated tests that run on a daily basis, and on adding to the automated tests, developing new automated tests so that we can secure our software, to fortify our software. Because if we're not able to run every single time we're going to push a release, if we're not able to run a slew of tests, like API tests, different backend tests, functional tests, UI tests, all these different type of tests. If we're not able to run those, especially in the industry and the department that I'm in, we are going to have a world of trouble. And then when all of our tests pass and then something does still go wrong, that gives us another opportunity to add tests. But with the speed that we develop, not having automated tests is impossible to get by. So if they don't understand, then why are you don't try to beat it into a brick wall. See me? I don't argue with people. I do not argue with people. If you don't if I'm explaining what's going on and you want to go back and forth about why this isn't important and stuff like that, then like, cool. I will find somebody who finds it important and then we'll make it work from there, right? If you don't value it, by all means, so be it. And I will go where my work is valued. So I would implore you to embrace that mindset of going where the work that you do is appreciated and you're not feeling undervalued and useless and thankless and all that type of stuff, right? So that is the way that I see this situation.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.